Hi everybody, this is Noelle at Petitti Garden Centers in Oakwood Village, and it's winter and we're stuck inside and we're gonna do some seed starting. Why should you grow plants from seed? Because it's easy, it's fun, it keeps everybody busy, all ages have a good time doing it, and you can grow your own beautiful flowers or vegetables or herbs out in the garden for you. But start them inside in the winter and you'll have a head start before you go outside. So to get started, it's pretty economical to start with. Usually startup costs are anywhere between, like, let's say $10 to $20, depending on what you use. And I'll give you some options here so you can pick your own. The first thing, of course, is your seed selection. So don't be like a kid in a candy store. When you come to Petitti's, you're gonna see all these different seed racks and all these different options. But if you're just starting seeds for the first time, just pick easy starters and start very slow and very basic. So some of your easiest seeds are actually some of your bigger seeds to handle out there. So something like zinnias, for example. So I have zinnias, California Giants here. This is part of the Botanical Interest series. And these seeds are pretty large. Normally when you're seeding larger seeds, it's 2.5 inches times their width. So seeds that are, I don't even know, maybe an 1/8 inch wide, you're not going very deep in the soil, okay? So just be aware. And your seed pack will tell you that. So I wanted to tell you there's a lot of information on seed packages. Hold on to them. They're gonna tell you what light the seed wants to grow in, what type of soil depth, how far you plant them apart. So all of that good information, save it in a photo album or in a journal so you have it, okay? The other thing that we start at this time of year, so usually end of February, beginning of March, are cold crops. So there's plenty of vegetables, your cabbages, your onions, your broccoli family, all of those guys can get started now, especially leaf lettuces. You can start them early and they'll grow cool inside the house and that'll work out fine. So seed selection right now, try to keep it simple. Don't start things too early. Always read your seed package. Sometimes these plants take 10 weeks, 12 weeks to even develop. So look at that number and make sure you calculate the right time so they're ready to go May 15th or May 30th when you're ready to plant, okay? So the next thing is containers. You can grow anything in any type of container. What you normally see is a plastic tray, okay? So this is more like a drip tray or a drip pan, if you will, or a cell tray. And then you'll see cell packs, okay? So some cell packs are 6 cells, some are 4, whatever you have. And each of those cells can be planted with different types of plant material, or you can use peat pots, okay? Whoops, peat pots, or peat squares, or even peat pellets. These are pretty fun to grow in as well, compressed peat. And what you do is you wanna make sure you have drainage. So drainage is the key. Make sure you have drainage hole in the bottoms of your pots that you are seeding in. The next thing you want is seed starting soil, okay? So make sure it's a seed starter. It's a much lighter, really well draining soil. It'll dry out pretty quickly. So when you open that bag, it's gonna like poof the peat moss in your face. And it's usually peat moss, perlite, and vermiculite, just like potting soil is, but it's just way lighter, more airy, okay? So what I normally do is I'll take my spray bottle and I'll go ahead and I'll spray some water right into that bag so it kind of keeps the peat moss at bay, if you will. So fill up your trays, make sure you fill them up with just about 1/4 inch maybe of soil, or excuse me, watering space. And so when you do water, when you start to take care of these seedlings, the water's gonna stay and go right down into the cell or the pot instead of bubbling over the sides. Okay, so give yourself a little bit of space. The other thing that we're looking for is light. So light is crucial with seed starting. About 75% of your seeds are gonna want bright, sunny areas to start and germinate, okay? So what you want is you want 12 to 16 hours of light a day, and that's a lot, especially in Northeast Ohio in the winter. So if you can, put them in the sunniest window you have. South facing is awesome, west facing is great, even east facing if you have a good amount of light. If you don't, guess what? We've got some lighting options. So again, you might see those fluorescent grow tubes. You might just use a little grow bulb that looks like one of the energy-saving LED bulbs, and you can just plug that into a lamp and go ahead and shine that on your seed starting area. So there are plenty of light options available. The last thing that we're really looking at is fertilizer. So you don't even do fertilizing of seeds until way down the road, usually about 4 to 6 weeks after you started seeding, until those plants have developed two sets of true leaves. So literally 1 set, 2 sets, and then you can actually start fertilizing. We usually recommend a liquid fertilizer, so it could be like this Espomic Organic Grow formula or a Miracle Grow or what have you, but follow the package directions and usually mix it about half strength. So you're going to dilute it with more water than normal, and then you can feed your seedlings very slowly. You don't want to burn them after all the work you've done with them, okay? To start out, so I've already put soil in here, and of course watering is going to be one of those keys too. So make sure you've got your spray bottle, that's always really helpful, or just a small watering can, but the spray mister is really, really nice. And you've filled your trays with the soil. You have about a 1/4 inch of watering depth, so you can keep them all looking really, really nice and moist. Of course, spray the soil before you get started so it's nice and moist. It's a nice dark brown color. So when you do go and seed, you know the seeds are going to stick to the soil and be ready to go. I'm going to start this lettuce mix. Again, lettuces are cold crops. It doesn't matter what kind of lettuce you're growing, and you can just pour some of these seeds out into your hand, and you'll notice lots of different seed colors because it's all these mixed greens that's in this baby gourmet mix. And you just sprinkle a couple, maybe 2, 3 lettuce seeds into the soil. And on the seed packet, it'll tell you just lightly press them in, okay? About 1/8 of an inch into the soil because they really do like light to germinate. Now, when you do that, when you're finished, go ahead and spray mist again. Make sure they're moving down into the soil. They've gotten their moisture, and you're ready to go, okay? Now, how do you keep that moisture in there? No problem. You can use a dome. Put it right over the tops of your seedlings. Once your seedlings have germinated and popped, guess what? They've grown enough that you can take that dome off. They don't need that extra humidity anymore, so that's good. I have also had gardeners use plastic wrap or saran wrap and have covered their flat with that, removed it, watered, covered it again, and when those seeds germinated, they were ready to go to take that plastic wrap off, okay? So you can use that too. One other option that I forgot to mention was recycled containers. So if you eat a lot of yogurt or you have some carry-out trays that are clear, those packages work really well. You just need to wash them. And it's the same thing. You can reuse these types of plastic materials, but you want to wash them in hot soapy water, get them nice and clean, and then dip them in a low percentage bleach solution, usually 1 part bleach, 10 parts water. Dip them into that solution, rinse them off, and then let them air dry. And you've got a sterile, sanitized container that you can grow in. I forgot to say, poke holes in the bottom of your yogurt containers and your carry-out trays as well, okay? Because drainage, again, is key. Other than that, tag your plants. You can use plant tags, okay? There's lots of types available, or you could just use your plastic fork from lunch, again, wash it off, and then you can put lettuce right on there with a Sharpie marker, and you're ready to go. You've marked your seeds as well. So that'll work out just fine, and recycle some plastic materials out there too. If there's anything I've forgotten, or if you have any questions, please post them below. We'll definitely get back to you on them, and enjoy your seed starting.